Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a fantastic day and welcome to my October favorites. Now in this video, I'm going to go through some of my favorite products that I've been using this month and tell you a little bit about them. So let's get started. So my first favorite for this month is this light here from a company named Godox. Now I actually hadn't heard about them before, but I was in the market for a small LED light that I could use pretty much just to throw on top of my camera that had a cold shoe mount, and this one came up on eBay, so I was like, that's pretty cool. This has got 36 LEDs. In fact, it's called the Godox LED 36. So of course, 36 LEDs, and it does put out a fair bit of power. Now there's a couple of things that I really do like about this light. Firstly, it's charged by AA batteries, which is something that I actually do like because here in my studio, I do have a lot of rechargeable batteries, pretty much constantly charging, so I can just throw them in there when it does run low. But I have found that it actually does last a really long time, which is good. Maybe because it's quite a small LED light. Another thing that I like is that it's got an output dial. So once I turn this on, you can see that I can spin this around and adjust the amount of light that's going to be output pretty much like that. Now, is it the most color accurate light? No, probably not. I've actually found that it's got a bit of a cool tint, which is a little bit of a pity. But for a lot of people, when you need just a little bit of extra light, let's say you're out vlogging or something like that, or you're shooting some run and gun footage, having this little extra light that you can throw in your pocket even because it's so small could be a really good idea. So I do like this little light from Godox. So next in my October favorites is this lens right here. This is the Canon 10 to 18 millimeter Stm. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you might know that I actually did own this lens a few years ago, and I actually sold it about a year and a half ago, but I kind of missed it, so I bought it again. Now, there's a couple of really good things about this lens that I really do like. First off, it is an ultra wide lens, so it does go really wide at 10 millimeters and zooms into 18 millimeters. Now, if you are using a kit lens on a Canon DSLR, for example, you'll probably be starting at 18 millimeters and going to 18 to 55 millimeters, sorry. And 18 millimeters might seem pretty wide, but actually going all the way to 10 millimeters is incredibly wide. So if you've never tried a wide angle lens, I'd highly recommend it. They can be pretty addicting because you can get some really cool shots and make even the smallest room look huge. Another thing that I really like about this lens is that it's got image stabilization. Now this wouldn't normally seem like something that you would need to use on an ultra wide angle lens, but because this has a aperture of f4.5 to 5.6, it's not a super fast lens, so in low light, having that extra image stabilization is a really good thing to have and allows you to get some pretty long exposure shots even with this relatively slow lens. The other thing that I really like about this lens, and probably the thing that I like the most about it, is that it does have that STM motor, which means you're going to be getting some silky smooth autofocus in stills and video mode, especially in video mode. When you use this lens here, because it does have that really wide angle, when it has a really wide angle, it's quite easy to get good autofocus with this, and you don't really have to worry about getting things out of focus. So overall, this is a fantastic lens. It's also really lightweight, so if you are looking to keep your kit quite small, quite light, and you want to have a nice travel lens, this could be a good option for your wide angle lenses. All right, so next up in my October favorites is from a company that's actually from Australia. You guys might not know this, but it's from a company called Rode, and you've probably heard of them before. But my favorite is this right here. It's the Rode Smartlav Plus. Now, if you guys don't know what this is a lavalier microphone that you can use simply by plugging into your smartphone, your iPhone or your Android phone. And it really does give you some good quality, broadcast quality audio from a lavalier mic. Now, the reason why I got this is because I've actually bought another camera, which you're going to be seeing pretty soon, and that doesn't have an inbuilt microphone jack. So I'm going to have to, in order to get some really good quality audio when I'm out in the field, I'll need to use this lavalier here and connect it to my smartphone. Now, it really does work very well. If you guys haven't seen a lavalier mic, I'm actually using one right now. This one here is from a company called Sennheiser, but this is what the Rode one looks like. It's very similar, it's very small. It's got a small capsule and it's got this little windsock on the top. And essentially you clip this to the top of your shirt and you can get some really nice, good quality audio. And then on the other end, you can just plug this in to your iPhone. The original Smartlav, which is the one that I had a few years ago, in fact, I actually made a review on it a couple of years ago when I was just starting out my channel. It was okay, it wasn't great, it did have a fair bit of hiss. So this is the reason why I got the Smartlav Plus. It's meant to be a lot better, and I have been testing it out. It does sound great. So if you guys would like me to make a review on this and maybe do some audio tests, let me know by leaving a thumbs up. The great thing about it is also it only costs about 50 bucks, so it's really, really cheap. And I do like it just to throw into your kit bag to get some better quality audio. And last for my October favorites is on my side here. This is the Sony RX100 Mark IV. Now, I know that there's a RX100 Mark V out, but I decided to get the RX100 Mark IV because for what I need, it's going to be doing everything perfectly. Now, you guys might know that I've actually used another vlogging camera, the Canon G7X Mark II, and I really did like that camera, but there's a couple of things on the RX100 that I really, really do like. Mainly, its slow motion capabilities. Now, the RX100 is a very similar camera to the G7X, but it does have awesome slow motion. So it can shoot in 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, and it's also got some high frame rates, which allow you to go even slower. So you can actually shoot in 240, 500 frames per second, and you can also shoot in 1,000 frames per second, which is absolutely crazy. And for when I'm going to be doing my vlogging, I'm going to be doing some travels coming up soon. This is going to be a fantastic camera for getting some nice, smooth, slow motion B-roll, and it's probably something that I wouldn't really be able to get on the G7X. Honestly, I think that the G7X is probably a little bit easier camera to use, and it can be really good for vlogging, but I did want to use this for the slow motion capabilities. The autofocus on it's really good as well. Audio is about the same as the G7X, nothing great. Again, that's why I've got this Rode Smartlav for when I actually need to get some proper audio, but I've been really happy with the RX100, testing it out, and I'm looking forward to putting it to good use. I should say, when you do shoot in those extra slow motion shots, the 240 and up, you can only shoot for about 4 seconds on this camera, so that's generally enough, but you can shoot in 120 frames per second for a lot longer, so that's probably what I'll be shooting in for a lot of the footage that I'm going to be using. So there you go, guys. That was just a pretty quick October favorites. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's always good to check out some new gear. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.